One of the oldest and ancient lay ministries in the church is the ministry of ushers. And this ministry has evolved, has developed throughout many centuries in the Catholic Church. It started from the Old Testament times to the New Testament times. And also, during some epochs in the Catholic Church, people, especially those who were preparing themselves for the sacrament of holy orders, were given minor orders which involved the porter. In this series, we are going to talk about who ushers are and what their ministries are in the church. As I've said, it's one of the ancient lay ministries in the Catholic Church. The ministry of ushers has a long line of descent from the Holy Bible. In the Holy Bible, especially the Old Testament, there was a ministry of people who were called to be gatekeepers or doorkeepers. So, you see, the ministry of ushers is not something new that we have in the church today. It has begun in the Old Testament times. And in 2 Kings chapter 22, verse 4, and in Psalm 84, verse 10, people were called to be doorkeepers or gatekeepers of the temple. This ministry of ushers has begun from the Levitical priesthood, where people were trained to be doorkeepers of the temple and people were asked to guard the temple. So already in the Old Testament, the perspective of a doorkeeper, a gatekeeper or an usher has already begun. And also in the New Testament, some scholars are right to say that the ministry of ushers can be seen in the works of the disciples of Jesus Christ. They always guard Jesus Christ. They always feed the people. They always prepare a place for the Lord whenever He wants them to be. So the ministry of ushers has been in the Old Testament and has also been in the New Testament. It has been there for a long time. And this ministry of ushers that we see today has this line of descent from both the Old Testament and the New Testament. The clerical orders of porters. In the last 50 and over years of the Catholic Church, there has been an order in the church which is an order of porters. And those who were preparing themselves for the sacrament of holy orders, that is, preparing themselves for the Catholic priesthood, found themselves in this order of porters. And you know, in those days and those years, we have two orders. We have the minor order and the major order. And for the major order, we have the subdeacon, the deacon, and the priest. And for the minor orders, we have the porter, we have the exorcist, we have the lector, and the acolyte. So, for some years in the Catholic Church, porters, or people who were preparing themselves for the sacraments of holy orders, were ordained until Pope Paul VI in 1972 abolished this. So whatever you see today as ushers have descended from the order of porters, the minor order of porters that the church had some few centuries ago. Porters were people who have duties of opening the church door, they guard the church door, and they open the book for preachers, and they usher people into the church. So the ministry of porter, or the ministry of porters, has been one of the ministries of the sacrament of holy orders. Those who were preparing themselves for this sacrament had to be ordained. Remember, It was a rite of ordination that was given to porters. So whenever you see an usher in the church today, know that it has its parallel in the sacrament of holy orders. People who were trained to become priests were also asked in some 50 years ago to be ordained as porters. So this has become a parallel in the lay ministry of ushers. So in the past, porters guard the church door, they lead people into the church, they ring bells for people, for gatherings, for services, for the mass, and also they try as much as possible to be there on time to open the church doors. The abolishment of the ministry of porters in the sacraments of holy orders. In the year 1972, Pope Paul VI suppressed this ministry of porters, especially the minor and the major orders, into two: the ministry of the word, or the lector, and the ministry of the altar, which is the acolyte. Therefore, in the 1972, which was a year when Pope Paul VI suppressed and has changed that ministers of the word, lectors, and ministers of the altar should be the only major ministry into the sacrament of holy orders. So, priests or candidates to the priesthood were no longer ordained into the ministry of porters, where they will open church doors, ring the bells, or even open books for the priest. Now it has been suppressed and changed. Therefore, it has been given to the lay people, the laity. The laity now embraces this right, this ministry of porters. So today, lay ministry of porter has been that of the ministry of porters to those who were embracing the sacrament of holy orders. Do you know that the ministry of ushers is also a liturgical function? In the general instruction of the Roman Missal, number 105, different ministries were called to function in the church, and specifically in the letter D of that general instruction of the Roman Missal, number 105, there is a place, the letter D, which gives prominent place to people who in some places direct people into the church, and they ask people to go in processions. This is the ministry of ushers. And in the Catholic Church, the general instruction of the Roman Missal has given a great privilege and a great duty to those who are in this ministry. So when you see ushers today, know that they have liturgical functions, they have liturgical exercises to perform in the church. Indeed, the general instruction of the Roman Missal tells us that they have liturgical functions. So they can also be called liturgical ministers in a sense. The ministry of ushers is one of the lay ministries, one of the oldest lay ministries in the Catholic Church. It began in the Bible, in the Old Testament, where people, Levitical priests, were doorkeepers and gatekeepers in the temple. It also happened in the New Testament, where some people, especially the disciples of Jesus Christ, were given duties which ushers do today. And in the church, it has a descent from the clerical order of minor orders. So when you see ushers today, remember that they are liturgical in functioning, and they have the right and dignity to perform this liturgical function. The church believes in this ministry of ushers. It started from the ordained ministry to the lay ministry. When you see ushers in your church today, respect them because they have their functions flowing from the Bible and from the church, and today to a ministry that they embrace. Preserve lay ministries in the Catholic Church. Remember that they have a duty to perform. Do not underestimate ushers. They have a liturgical function to perform. Thank you for watching, and may God bless you all.
Ushers.